So I remember when I tried to sell one of my older, high-quality domain names. At the start of the negotiation process, we were at a standoff. Should I make the first offer, or should he? We traded several emails. None of us crossed the line. He wouldn't tell me what he wanted to pay, and I wouldn't tell him my price. So what range are we looking at? I'm not even sure where to begin here. I wouldn't want to offer something that would be insulting. I appreciate that. This is a great domain name. I've had a few offers in the past and I held on to it. I'm not even sure if I want to sell it. I like the domain too. I'm looking at a few domains actually, and this is just one of them. But I'm happy we're talking because I do want to resolve this soon. This negotiation standoff is all too common, and it's dumb. Here's why. Hey, what's up? I'm Derek Halpern, and you're watching Planet Derek, the place entrepreneurs come to get ahead in business and in life. If you're new here, take a second and subscribe to my channel. I put together a lot of great, helpful videos, and I publish one every single day. With that said, let's jump right in. The number one reason why you should rush to make the first offer in a negotiation is as simple as this. It's in your benefit. There's a common misconception in sales where people believe the first person to make an offer loses. This advice used to be true. Before the internet, the customer didn't have the power over the salesperson. They didn't have information. They didn't have an easy way to find past clients who also work with the same person or company. But now, they're just one Google search away. I even filmed a video on how to negotiate so you can learn how to be better at it. I'm doing another one right now. And that's why I believe you should almost always rush to make the first offer, whether you're buying or selling. Here's why. It's all about the cognitive bias known as anchoring. Let me explain with an example about soup. Soup? Yes. A study published in the Journal of Marketing Research tested the effect of limiting the number of cans of soups customers could buy. You might have seen similar offers at the grocery store. Is it because the store really doesn't want you to buy more? Seems unlikely. Although yes, grocery stores will do this with a loss leader to get you through the door, but that's a different topic. Well, in this study, there was a limit of 12 per person for cans of soup. What happened? Without the limit, people bought an average of 3.3 cans. But once the limit of 12 cans per person was introduced, people bought an average of 7 cans. People see the number 12 and it becomes their anchor. So now when they decide how many cans to buy, they adjust based on that number. This is anchoring in full effect. It means that we as humans tend to rely too much on the first piece of information we get, like the number 12 in this example. This anchoring effect is the reason why it's often a good idea to make the first offer in a negotiation. By setting a favorable anchor, you can sway the outcome of the negotiation. That's why making the first offer is often the best strategy. However, Adam D. Galinsky, who studies how particular strategies affect outcomes in negotiations at Northwestern University Kellogg's Graduate School of Management, points out that there are a few things to keep in mind. For one, when you do lead in a negotiation, it's important to make an aggressive first offer. Otherwise, there's no point. If your first offer is the same as your reservation price, meaning the minimum you'd be willing to accept, you'll end up with either a bad deal or no deal at all. That's why Galinsky suggests you should set your anchor based on your target price. That is, an outcome that you'd be 100% happy with. So when you set an anchor, don't set it at the minimum you're willing to accept. Set it at the level where you'd be thrilled to make a deal. That's how you'll end up with a better deal. Plus, it allows you to make concessions, which is crucial to making any deal happen. And it will make the other party feel better about reaching an agreement too. Now, while you should be aggressive, you shouldn't be absurdly aggressive. If your counterpart thinks there's no chance of reaching an agreement, they'll just walk away. So if you have very little information about your counterpart's reservation price, making the first offer can be tricky. Also, if you know nothing about the product or service at stake, you run the risk of making a first offer that's too low. And that's kind of dumb. It makes you look stupid, it insults people. No one wants to work with anyone like that. So if you use the first offer strategy, make sure you're at least in the right ballpark. With that said, I recently noticed something strange. People tend to make their first offer a round number. For example, let's say you want to sell your service. You meet with a potential new client, you're smart and use the first offer strategy, so you go ahead and give them a price quote. To keep it simple, you might say, I'll do everything you want me to do for $1,000. I know why people do this. You want to keep it simple. It's easy for you, easy for them, right? But new research from Columbia University shows that it's actually a mistake, especially if you want to take full advantage of the anchoring effect, which is the whole point of making the first offer. I'll explain. The study published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology found that when you make a precise first offer, you get less aggressive counter offers. Think about that. When you make a precise first offer, you get less aggressive counter offers, leading to a more favorable final outcome for you. Meaning, the anchor you set with a more precise number is more effective than when you use a round number. I actually filmed a video about 3 ways to instantly boost credibility. You may want to watch this too, it's in the cards. So in the example, it would be better to quote your price precisely. Instead of $1,000, make your first offer $1,150. Pretty simple tweak, right? Well, the study also found a possible explanation for this effect. When you make a precise offer, it shows that you're not just pulling a number out of thin air. A precise number looks more informed. It implies you actually know what you're talking about. This makes sense intuitively. A precise first offer looks more like the real indicator of value. The result, you're less likely to face an aggressive counteroffer. So next time you make a first offer, don't use a round number to keep it simple. It might seem like you came up with a number out of thin air and people are gonna haggle. Instead, make an aggressive and precise first offer. That's how you'll take full advantage of the anchoring effects in negotiation. Now back to the domain name. I ended up not selling it. What I ended up discovering was something as simple as this. The guy knew I owned the domain name and wanted to rip me off. I walked away. Sometimes in a negotiation, if you're dealing with a client who's just not in the same world as you, it's important to just be willing to walk away. There's no way you can turn someone who's trying to pay you $2 for a $2,000 thing and turn that person into a $500, $1,000, or $1,500 buyer. They literally don't care about you. Now here's what I'd like to know from you. Have you ever been in a negotiation where you successfully made the first offer and successfully anchored a high value? And has it backfired? Share your negotiation story in the comments. Like this video if you liked it. I know it was long, packed with information and research, but this is the sort of stuff you can expect here at Planet Derek. In the meantime, here's what I want you to do. Like, subscribe, hit that notifications bell, and I'll see you in the next video.